What's going on, Banana Froth? We got some unboxings for you today. I got 3 pretty decent sized packages. Really excited about this one. Well, I'm excited about all of these, but I want to start doing these little unboxings over here just because a little bit be first impressions and a little bit be just kind of how I feel about the disc in the hand without having to go out and throw it and make like a super compact video that every stuff is happening all the time. But the first one is a company I didn't anticipate doing a lot with. I didn't anticipate doing a lot of these series anymore. If you guys remember back to last off season in Florida for the most part, I did a series called New Kid in the Bag, where I would take a full lineup of discs from a manufacturer, or as much of them that I can get my hand on. Now, like if a company wants to do one of those, it's definitely just going to be a full lineup of discs because the value that I have is like more than doubled since then in terms of average viewership. So definitely, I feel like I'm giving companies a pretty good deal if they're just sending me discs and I'm just reviewing them. But that's kind of the nature of disc golf right now. Maybe it'll change eventually to where there's actual money involved, but disc golf is still pretty small, and there's a part of me that like wants to be like, okay, but the value is worth more. But there's also a part of me that's like, I'm a part of the community. Like I want to give back to the community in a way and represent some smaller companies. And so one of those that actually sent me, I think most of their lineup of discs, I don't think it's their full lineup, but everywhere that I've looked, they've been sold out of like the couple discs that they didn't actually send me. So like, minus half a point, you know what I mean? Is actually a company called Reptilian Discs. They just came out with this disc, the Carnivore, which is a destroyer-like mold. I mean, everything's destroyer-like, but 12.5, -1.2. This is what it looks like. Looks pretty good. Let me pull out a destroyer real fast. Take a look against it. I haven't really done this. It looks a little chonkier. It looks like the top is a little bit like domier, going like over the shoulder. And it looks like pretty equally stable. It actually like feels pretty pop top. Feels a little bit big in the hand. It's like between the destroyer and a time lapse. Like for a 12.5 -1.2 disc or whatever, like the time lapse is the biggest that I've ever felt. This is kind of in the middle. But I'm telling you, this is all made by Gateway Discs, so you can kind of see the telltale like little circle in here, and then the pen on the bottom. And I think they sent me like 9 discs. The Carnivore, which is that. Some of these have interesting numbers, and some of them feel very weird. I'm excited, but also nervous to throw them, because you always want to give positive reviews, but you also have to be as objective as possible. Or, I guess it's all subjective, but as like, you can't be biased towards a company, you know what I mean? 9303 is the Komodo, this guy right here. I like the artwork on these, I'll say that, and I really like the kind of vibe. I think the vibe of these is kind of hurt, Reptilian Discs, by the like Dino Discs, which are like, whenever I think of them, like I'm like, I see this disc like the Komodo or something. I'm like, oh, is it going to be a Dino disc or is it going to be a Reptilian disc or something else? Because the Dino discs are the super lightweight ones that are meant for kids, and so that might hurt the brand image of Reptilian. But this is interesting. 9303. It honestly doesn't quite look as overstable as like a Firebird, but it is. This is something I noticed about a lot of Gateway molded discs. Is you can see like this shoulder here is a little bit thicker, and that's going to really be exemplified, I think, in the next mold. Which I actually had a video come out about this way back in those Florida days that. I think it was one of those Patreon-sponsored Bag It or Bin It's where a patron will tell me like what disc to go buy and throw. I don't do that anymore. Some places you see it as a 10-speed, some places you see it as an 8-speed, I'm pretty sure. But it is, yeah, this thing just does not want to focus on the Frisbee. But yeah, pretty cool artwork, and it's very chunky. A very chunky driver. Next are the mid-ranges. I think they sent me out 3 mids here. One is the Gila. I'm going to call it the Gila because I know they pronounce it Gila Monster instead of Gila. But 5403. And this, I think, is like prototypical Gateway, man. Like, you have such a deep bead. Like, I'm like Gateway Prophecy and like other companies that are molded by Gateway or created. Like, you can like stick a finger in between the bead at the bottom and the lip at the top. And this one's interesting too because it's got a good amount of dome. I don't really know what plastics these are in, but these all seem to be like in similar premium plastics. This one seems to be more star-like. And then these, like this one's kind of like a hybrid Star Champ kind of. This one seems very Star-like, maybe like a Star Pro-ish. Feels like a little cheaper than a Star. And then this one also similar, but it's this reminds me a lot of the Gateway Prophecy, which is an overstable mid-range. I imagine this is one that can hold some flex. And then we have the Iguana, which also feels so weird because you can see the shoulders a little bit lower on it compared to the Gila. And it's a little bit like more bladed, but it has almost the same bottom. Like the bottom's the same, the top is just different. And so I don't really know what to deal with that. It's because it's not like the most comfortable bottom anyways, but I mean something different in a different context. But yeah, it's got like, it's almost not even a bead too. It just kind of is like it's like if you don't take off the bottom of the 3D printing stuff. It's not uncomfortable. It's pretty domey, but I'm interested because it feels like it would be overstable, but they call it a 5.5 negative 1.5. So you'd think it'd be pretty straight. What is definitely overstable is the Stego. Everyone knows about the Stego. Everyone's heard about the Stego. Pretty sick disc here. I'm really excited to throw it. Again, not super excited for that. It's going to be like my approach guy. I'm excited if I was to throw it like 1 or 2 times, but Stego, we got that. And then the putters are pretty interesting to me. I'm going to throw these back in the box because the putters here, they have the Serpents, and then this one is the Scale, I'm pretty sure. You can see here, Serpent on the back, 174. Scale, 174, or SC. But both of them have like these interesting little thumb tracks right up here that I don't really know what to think about it, because you'd think that you don't want your putter to be like, to lose a lot of glide, but that's a lot of times what thumb tracks do. Like they're comfortable in the hand. The Scale is a little beaded, a little bit deep. What's the Serpent? Beadless, it's interesting. It has the bottom that you'd see on like the Gesterdisc Love, which is the Praxis and the Bullet and whatnot, but it's a little deeper. But I think for putting, I think the Scale is going to be it, especially it's in the Super Glow. It's a little bit softer of a plastic, not super soft. And then the Serpent, I think, will be a really good thrower. But both of these feel like they'll be straight to overstable, not super overstable, not understable at all. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to throw all these. They're interesting molds. It's just interesting too because I'm not the biggest Gateway fan. Sorry, Connor Kennedy. I'm not the biggest fan of like a lot of discs that they mold. Like I've never even really thought about bagging one. Maybe the Elements by Gateway, but like the companies that use them to do their molding, I don't know like which discs are similar. But what I do think about like the AGLs, these guys, a couple others that I can't remember off the top of my head, they seem to have like okay, here's the bottom mold, here's the top mold. Let's mix and match them in literally every single way possible. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't done like a driver top with a putter bottom at this point. But it's definitely pretty interesting. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited to throw those and to do that series again. I'm like very nervous that the series isn't going to do very well at all on my channel. I have to figure out a way to title and thumbnail it. But I don't know, sometimes sometimes I got to do something that's like, I kind of want to throw these and I want to get these discs and like, it seems fun. So I'll make a video and I'll figure out how to make it work. But not the best business plan, but not everything needs to be maximalized, you know what I mean? Like I don't need 25 videos out of my 25 to 30 videos a month to be phenomenal. I need like 10 to 15 to be phenomenal and the rest of them at baseline. And as long as they're not below a certain value to the audience, that'll be good enough. Next up, we're going to save this for last because this is like, they only sent this to 3 people. This is from Another Round Disc Golf. Big shout out to Joseph over there. And you've seen him throw this disc all over the place. It feels like he sent me more than one, which would be clutch. But I just kind of put out on my Instagram, I was like, hey, I really want to throw this disc. And can anybody like give me one to borrow or send me one or whatever? And he reached out and he sent me. Oh, what a good dude. Dude, I cannot wait to throw this. I threw this one time with my buddy TJ. Oh, Joseph, you're too good to me. He sent me both of them. He sent me the Star Rolo, 180 grams, just the regular stock stamp Rolo, which, I mean, look at this thing. That thing wants to roll, dude. It's such a good roller disc, and it's so fun. Even up here, I mean, it's so flippy. Not quite like the Franklin Disc Albatross. Still hate you, buddy. But this thing is going to be a blast to throw. And he also sent me 180 gram. Oh, he's too good to me. He knows the content game. 180 gram Glow Rolo. So that's going to be a lot of fun too. This is the Christmas edition. I cannot wait to throw these and see how they compare to one another. And honestly, like sometimes videos like these are just for like, let's just have fun. Like these videos are just a blast, or these discs are just a blast. So let's just go out and have a good time and throw them. Gratefully, they're popular. So I like when fun discs are popular, it's the best of both worlds because then people are going to click on the video no matter what. And I get to go and have a blast with the discs. And now that I have these two, oh, that's so good. Thanks so much, Another Round. Oh, that's so good. I cannot wait to throw these guys. Come on. And then last but not least, we got something that was sent to me. Typically when like an international company sends me something, it's like getting sent from somewhere, some sort of distribution in the States. I actually have 2 things coming to me. I think one, let me quick check on it while I ramble about who this is from. Shh, Ludwig, you need to be quiet, buddy. But I have one coming from this company, which is out of Finland, which I'm hoping to like pitch them an idea for a disc if I do get sponsored this year by somebody or next year or what. I don't know. I have a great idea for a disc I think that I would love to do with them. But, oh, my thing is on the way. What does it say? End of day by Friday. Okay. That's pretty good, actually. That's not too bad. I think that's the day that I think they have the embargo date set for. What that is, that's going to be a Latitude 64 something, which I'm pumped about. Apparently, new Royal line discs are coming out. This, though, I think is a box in a box. I think Clash Discs sent this out to me. Massive shout out to them. They reached out to me and they said that they're only really sending 3 of these out to creators. So I feel very honored that they would want to send me one. Inside of it, oh my gosh, look at that thing. That's gorgeous. I like almost don't even want to open it. But you know, this will be a Banana for Off exclusive. Like if you see on video that I open this thing and like act like I'm opening it for the first time, don't say a word. You could put a banana frisbee emoji in the comments and I'll know that you know. But don't say anything, okay? I'm pretty sure this is like a birch box. Let me take this off somehow. Come on, buddy. You can do it. There we go. All right. Wow, this is pretty. Holy crap, look at this thing. And then around the back side, that's gorgeous. I'm gonna keep this box like just for goodies. Holy crap. Okay, quick open it up. It says push here. Whoa. Oh, this is so neat. Dude. Well done, Clash. Holy cow. This is so cool. I can't wait to throw these either. And it looks like I was like, oh, maybe there's like 4 discs in there because I knew there was going to be a box. But this looks like it's like 1/8 inch or, no, this looks like a 1/4 inch ply. Like, yeah, 1/4 inch like Baltic birch ply. And it has like, oh, wow, this is awesome. Okay, we're going to take these out one at a time. Oh my gosh. Okay, we got a Clash Discs double steady something. But it's like the kind of over moldy one. I was wanting to get my hands on some of this. This feels like it is it's a mint. Ooh, interesting. So they have the molding right here. It says mint. If I wasn't going to guess mint, I was going to guess something a little faster, but I do know the mint. When I initially reviewed some Clash stuff when I was in Florida, I did a new kid in the bag with Clash, actually, funnily enough. I don't think I had their full lineup. I just had like most of their flippy discs, which made it really hard because it was really windy that day. But the like mint is kind of like almost like a Castoplast yarn, where it feels more like a 4.5 speed, which is kind of similar to the Savior from Latitude 64. But this double steady stuff looks super cool. It looks like like you can feel where it kind of overlays, which you can't really feel a lot of times with MVP stuff, but it feels really good. Like it doesn't feel bad that it's there. And I imagine it'll flush down even more as you throw it. But kind of domey for mints. I imagine that this is going to be very similar to like the Lone Star Harpoon, where it's overstable but not crazy. Like Lone Star initially had the Harpoon at the numbers of the zone, and then they kind of backtracked and call it now like a 4402. That's kind of what this is going to feel like to me. Feels good in the hand. It's like pretty deep but not too deep. That's going to be money. Next up, we have the Clash Discs Prototype Guava with a little sparkle in it. So we got a steady sparkle, looks like plastic. And the Guava, I think, is kind of like supposed to be a slightly overstable, like comparable to a Buzz or something like that. Maybe a little more overstable even, but it's got a pretty bladed edge. So I imagine it's going to fly like a 5.5, maybe a 6-speed, like fast. Like rip it, it's going to go far. Like I imagine this is one I can probably push out to the 375 mark because my Origins I can get out there. Like this one looks bladed enough, like fast enough that can happen. So stoked to throw that. Oh, what the heck? So I don't even know if I'm going to know all these. Because I know some Clash, but like I don't think that there is a little thing in here to tell me what this is. But this, oh, never mind, it's on the thing. I've been wanting to throw one of these forever. Eric, I've never like asked. I typically like try to not, unless I know I'm gonna make a video or something. I don't like asking people for discs or whatever because I feel like that's just like abusing my power as an influencer. But like, this is a disc that I was interested in reviewing at some point. It just kind of never got up to that point where I was going to ask Eric to get my hands on one. But it is looks like a new plastic of the Spice. I like this. It kind of is reminiscent of like a Discmania logo, like the ones that Simon used to throw all the time. But this is a 10404, I believe. And it definitely does feel in your hand a little bit bigger than like your Firebirds. So it definitely feels a little faster. So that 10 speed. The Spice here, man, oh, this feels awesome. I'm really excited to throw this and try to rip some forehands. My forehand has been trash recently. I need to get better recovered, but this is sick. Looks like we got 2 or 3 more. was waiting for this guy. I was waiting for this one. When they sent Apollo Disc Golf a box of discs when I was in Kansas City, and I just used them to film, and there's a cherry in here. And this was like a slightly more stable origin, like very similar to my Pink Midnight Prowl 2s. It's probably not going to be as fast. Like you can even see, if you look at it here, the guava looks a little bit faster. Don't focus on me, buddy, please. The guava just looks slightly faster than the cherry because of how much more bladed it is. But the cherry is like, I think slightly supposed to be flippier than the berry. So I'm excited to throw this on some hyzer stand-ups. This one actually feels a little bit chunkier in my hand than the one that I used to throw, and a little smaller. Like this feels almost like a 4-speed, but definitely 5-speed, but feels really nice as well. Ooh, what is this? 2 more, I think. This one is the Sage. Super cool. 12.6 -1.3. Steady plastic. I like how like all the different sparkles that they have. This looks like it's gonna be pretty overstable. If you look at how the bevel's in there and it's relatively flat. For a 12.6 -1.3, it feels like a 13-speed, I'd say, in my hand. Just off rip. But like throwable. Like on the verge of me being like, ooh, this is gonna be a little too big. But that might just be because of the way that the dome is. Oh man, I can't wait to throw these. This is gonna be awesome. But it feels honestly pretty good. Like pretty stoked on it. 12.6 -1.3 disc. I don't know if it's gonna be that fast or like gonna be. It doesn't feel like a bomber to me, honestly. It feels a little stable to be a bomber, but I'm excited to try. You know, I'm wrong about this 65% of the time, all the time. And the last one, the Sound of Disc Golf Peach. Looks like this is a Sunny Peach or something. I don't really know the plastics too well, but this is supposed to be slightly. So I feel like this is like. Without the berry, this is like the heart of their mid-range lineup. You got the peach, you got the cherry, you got the guava. And I think that's how it goes in terms of stability, but we'll definitely see. I love when companies send out more mid-ranges because most courses are much more like mid-range putter friendly. And then like I get this and I'm like, I have to like find a course to throw a driver on. Because a lot of courses in Denver, especially as I'm like throwing slightly farther now, like I feel like I'm pretty comfortably able to hit the 440 to 450 mark on holes, and that means I can push my fairways out to close to 400. Like I don't really need to throw drivers all that much. Obviously different shot shapes are different, but I think this is a really good box for like me as a reviewer and in turn most people, because most people aren't going to be like throwing their drivers, and most people don't have courses, or at least most local courses aren't super like driver course friendly. So you got the Sage, Spice, so 12-speed, 10-speed, Guava, Cherry, and Peach, which I think are 5.54, and then the Mint, which is a 4-speed as well. So super, super stoked. 2, 4, 6 discs here. And this presentation is by far, I think so far, the best presentation that I've ever had of discs in my life. That's money. Don't tell anybody. Okay? Don't do it. But yeah, that's that. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye. I can't wait to throw the roll up. God, I love my job. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you so much.